Hi, welcome everybody. How are we all doing today? I'm just testing some new technical thingies, so I'm just going to go into the extras menu for a second so that it doesn't, wait, where's the, oh, there's the gallery. So that it doesn't keep playing the opening over and over again while I check stuff. The music is so great. So I changed some settings on my mic. So hopefully the audio sounds okay. I did test it beforehand. But that was offline, and who knows what might happen between then and now. What was the other thing I was... Oh yeah, I was going to quickly tweet to say that I'm live. We can just enjoy the smooth jazz in the meantime. The music is so great. Every time I log on to Twitter at the moment, the only thing I see is people talking about alternative social media platforms. The great Twitter purge. Time for Dante's route, blah blah. Cool. Tweet. I've also looked up a walkthrough, which I will share in chat. To help me get his normal ending, Dante's normal ending, because last stream I got his tragic ending and his best ending. But as you can see, I'm still missing a few CGs. That's the link for the walkthrough. I'm using the one by Otome Kitten. Is my mic maybe a bit loud? See how that goes. You sound fine, thank you. Yeah, I'm using I looked up some audio filters, so I'm using like a noise suppression one. So hopefully it doesn't make my voice sound too strange. And is the audio for the Switch okay? It's not all crunkly like it was before. So I think the way that I have to get there is to go to the normal ending, is to go to chapters, and then Dante, and then chapter 8, good. But then set affinity to low and respect to low. And that should get me his, well, it doesn't say normal, it says good ending. So it's not his best ending, but it's not a tragic ending either. Somewhere in the middle. You think it's fine? Cool, thank you. Good morning, Dante.
Oh.
Interesting
Ohayo.
that this is where the story branched. It seemed like such a normal, innocuous moment, but this was where it all was decided, whether we were going tragic, best, or good. We normally greeted each other good morning, but today we both spoke timidly. So in case you don't remember, this is the morning after they have sex. Wait, no. They had sex in the best end. This is the morning after they confess to each other and they kiss. I think. Did they kiss? Or did they just confess? God, this route is so long. It's been like, and so much has happened in all the different endings as well that it's all blurring into one. But I'm pretty sure this was after Dante had a fever, and then when he felt better, he was talking to MC, and they like had a very cute, romantic, passionate moment where they confessed their feelings for each other. And so today they're feeling a bit awkward. But this wasn't the one where they had sex. Sorry, I just remembered that was the best ending. Dante sat down at the table while I prepared breakfast, but it all felt so awkward. Yesterday feels like a dream. Dante quietly looked at me, hesitating, then began to speak.
情けないところを見せてすまなかった。熱があったせいかもしれない。
But even though this is where the story branches, this conversation is always the same, like the beginning part of the conversation. I was a bit shocked at what he said, but I tried to hide it by remaining calm. Oh, yes, I'm sure. It's okay, I understand. So then, are you feeling better now? For some reason, Dante seemed rather displeased with my reply.
分かっているだと何をだ
I mean, you had a fever, so you weren't feeling like yourself, right? That's okay, it can't be helped.
違う。いや、今のは俺の言い方が悪かった。
That's right, so he thinks, or she thinks that the awkwardness comes from him regretting saying that he loved her. But it's not, he's just feeling a bit embarrassed because he got all mushy. But he doesn't regret saying it. Huh? He looked straight into my eyes.
俺はお前のことを思っている。
See? His words were straightforward and simple. My heart was racing again. You... Dante had a cloudy look on his face, seeing that I was unable to respond, and every time he gets all, like, pouty about her not saying I love you back when he said it, which is very cute. You know, stoic, serious mafia boss sulking because his girlfriend didn't say I love you back. He then spoke in an apologetic tone.
リリー、怒っているのかすまない。
And then he tries to figure out what he did wrong. No, I'm not upset. I felt like I'd seen every possible side to him since yesterday. So, oh, breakfast is ready. Let's eat. I clumsily urged him toward our breakfast. Our simple but awkward conversation helped ease the tension in the air. I think we may have done this meanwhile. Oh, I'll click it and see. If I can skip it, then yeah. So this is where Emilio gets introduced to the story, which we have seen, so I'll just skip through that. Ooh.
単純な話だ。俺たちもこの地に眠る奇跡の恩恵に預かりたい。
Oh hell yeah, this was the correct place to stop skipping.
奇跡のためにはお前たちが死んでしまうと困るからな。
I'm so keen for his route. Not yet, but soon. Was he serious back then?
わからない。ラオ州がどこまで生物に関わる情報を手に入れているのかも不明のままだ。
So I think the way that the story branches is they decide a different way of trying to resolve this plot issue.
それに気にかかる発言もあった。
Because in the tragic end, he just basically tries to negotiate with Jan and like basically give him the whole of Bologna and like all of his power as the Falzone family and stuff, which obviously goes poorly. But in the best ending, they actually do the whole plot line with the relic and the sacred ritual to break the seal on the relic and stuff like that. So I don't know what the good ending's gonna do. You mean about how he needs us alive? I wonder what he meant by that, and what kind of blessings come from the relic. Dante thought for a moment, then spoke again.
伝承によれば生物は神の恩寵を地上に媒介することで奇跡を起こすと考えられている。奇跡を起こす生物を所有することで過去の権力者は自身の正当性を主張した。自分は神の恩寵に預かる正しい資格を持っている神に選ばれし人間なのだと。
If that's true, then the relic must have been sought after by so many throughout the years. So, Dante, do they say what kind of miracles are bestowed by Bologna's relic?
そこまでは俺も知らない。かの有名な聖杯伝説の類では病気治癒などがよく挙げられるが、
I wasn't sure whether I should even ask this, but there's something I wanted to ask you. Why is Bologna hiding the sacred relic's existence? Well, now we've played the best end, we know why. It's because the sacred relic is apparently Jesus' body, and if people found out that it existed, that would prove that the church has been preaching basically lies. And that Jesus never ascended to heaven, he was just a regular dude. What a plot twist. If it were made public, I'm sure the town would receive a number of pilgrims. Yeah, I bet they would. More people would mean that Bologna could thrive as a bigger and wealthier town. Seems counterintuitive to hide the relic from the public. I recalled that they mentioned the relics were widely known and seen as objects of worship. Dante and Nicola had discussed it.
そこが問題なんだ。この町にある聖物は一般にはその存在を秘匿されている。
だからこそ教国は大昔からこの町には手を出すなと国に圧力をかけている。
The church watches over this town because the relic needs to be hidden? What did this all mean? I looked at Dante, waiting for him to speak. After a moment of silence, Dante sighed and proceeded somewhat reluctantly.
ヤンが俺を墓守の一族と呼んだことを覚えているか？
Come to think of it,
さすがは墓守の一族。早い到着だ。
that's what Young said when Dante came to rescue me.
あれは今はもう使われることのなくなったファルツォーネの一族の呼び名だ。それ以上明確に答えることはできない。
I see. I nodded and accepted his response, seeing that he was obviously unhappy speaking about it. I wonder if the grave refers to an important person's grave that can't be made public. As I pondered over what that title meant, I continued on, changing the subject. So the Falzone has been watching over Bologna's sacred relic? Doesn't that mean that the relic belongs to you and the Falzone family?
いや、ファルツォーネはあくまで生物と生物の眠るこの地を守るのが役目だ。
He's an honorable criminal. Well, if you did have the rights to the relic, would you be able to get its blessing?
理論的にはそうだろうな。ヤンの目的はおそらく生物の所有者になることだ。だが、隠された生物を手に入れるには、まず封印を解く必要がある。
Which means Young won't kill us yet.
あの発言はそういう意図だったんだろう。ファルツォーネの現当主である俺でさえ、生物が引き起こす奇跡とやらを心から信じているわけじゃない。この国の人間ですらないヤンが、奇跡の実在を経験に信じているとは到底思えないな。
So, could Young be looking for something else? I'm actually really glad I played the tragic end first, where they addressed this particular part about Young's motivations. Because I feel like the best and good ending, like when you get to the good version of chapter 8, kind of spoils that surprise. I guess it wasn't that much of a surprise, but still. I do think the tragic ending was a good one to play first, because it had the least amount of information about the way to resolve all of this relic stuff. Maybe there's another use for the relic.
その可能性はあるかもしれない。
Although I have a feeling I probably should have gone tragic, good, and then best. Because after the best ending, this is probably going to be underwhelming.
生物と引き換えに教国と交渉すれば、きっと莫大な財貨を得られるだろう。
All I knew was that something terrible would happen if Young got a hold of the relic. Can't you gain rightful ownership of the relic before Young does?
それは。
Regardless of whether Young uses it for profit or abuses it for its blessing, he'd still bring about casualties to the town.
そうだな。ラオ州の拠点がここにある以上、避けられないだろう。
Well then, why don't you obtain the rights to the relic before Young does? Dante can receive its blessing or use it to bargain with the church. Orlok said that the Falzone won't receive any more support from the church, right?
今日の目的は顔見せと忠告だけ。教国はすでにしびれを切らしてる。
Soon, Orlok. Warlock will be the next route once I finish Dante's. I can't wait. He's so cute.
今後ファルツォーネに峡谷の庇護は与えられない。
You could use the relic in exchange for the church's support again.
お前の言っていることには筋が通っている。理屈としては納得できる。が、ファルツォーネはあくまで生物の守り人だ。その長たる俺が所有者になるなんて。
Generations of guarding the relic made it difficult for Dante to abuse it. But Dante, your status as guardian is only because of Bologna's relic, isn't it? If you lose the relic, you'll also lose your purpose in guarding it.
それは確かにお前の言う通りだ。
He closed his eyes to think. After a moment, he opened them again with resolve.
俺はファルツォーネという組織も祖先から受け継いできたこの使命もリリーも町も全てを守りたい。
I can't remember if I screenshotted this last time, so I'm just going to do it now.
悠長に手段を選んでいる暇はないな。できることは全部試していかなければ。
I could tell that any reluctance he had was now gone from his expression. I was happy to see him filled with spirit again, and asked another question out of curiosity. Come to think of it, do you know where the relic is hidden?
ああ、場所なら分かっている。
But
封印を解くには必要なものが2つあると以前話したことを覚えているか？
yes. Yes, something about Falzone blood and the Key Maiden. Yep. Dante was referring to me.
俺はそれ以上のことを教えられていない。どうすれば封印が解けるのか知らないんだ。
Sweetie. I'll tell you when you're older.
俺とお前が生物の眠る場所に赴けば、それだけで簡単に解けてくれるのかどうか。いくら生物とはいえ、そんなおとぎ話のようなことが実在するものなのか。
I mean, magic is actually real in this setting, apparently. Dante had a point. I pondered over the idea, then looked again at Dante. Dante? Oh, I said his name a lot. I was hoping that you might share a few more details about what the Falzone line has been told through the years.
ああ、ファルツォーネという一族の歴史は、ある聖人に端を発していると言われている。生物を守るための秘密結社、ファルツォーネ。その祖先であるかの聖人は、天国の鍵を託されたとされている。
The key to heaven.
そして、先生術で見出された乙女と、聖人の血を引く者。二人が揃って初めて、生物の封印を解けると伝えられている。
Yep.
俺が知っていることはこのくらいだ。
Come on, think about it. Think about it for more than 2 minutes. I see. Well, why don't we start by going where the relic lies?
は？
What? Dante looked surprised. I mean, we certainly won't get anywhere by staying put. Not that I think we'd solve everything just by going, but I'm sure we can find a lead once we're there. If we can somehow break the seal with only our presence, even better. Dante had a blank look on his face. I guess he didn't expect me to say that. Dante? I peered at Dante's face to see what was wrong.
すごいな、リリー。
Did I say something? His sudden laughter caught me off guard.
いや、悪い。お前の言う通りだな。行ってみて生物を手に入れられれば、それはそれで幸運だ。
So you agree? Dante smiled and nodded.
長年、組織が見守ってきた場所とはいえ、あの廃墟に赴く人間などそういない。鍵の乙女を伴って訪れたという記録もないし、行ってみるだけの価値はありそうだ。
I'm so curious to see how this ends. Like, what other way can you resolve it in, like, so that it's still good but not as good
不思議だな。
as the
お
best
前
end?
と一緒にいると、凝り固まっていた思考が自由になる。
No. I just say what I'm thinking, that's all. I was a bit embarrassed by his words, but I mustered the strength to express my honest feelings. Have we already seen this meanwhile story? I think we have. I'm pretty sure I remember flattery. Yeah. We sold that one. I'm happy I can be of help to you, Dante. And so, we decided to head to the ruins together, to the place where the relic was said to lie. I'm just going to quickly turn my air conditioning off. BRB. Okie-doke. Dante contacted Leo to send someone to pick us up. It was crucial to ride in a car now that the townsfolk were riled up from the news. We got into the car that arrived and headed to the entrance of a forest. We walked through the woods to the ruins where the sacred relic was sealed. I've never been here before.
そうなのか。町から森まではそこまで離れているわけじゃないが。
I was told as a child that the forest was home to wolves.
ああ、確かに街道の方の森にはあの辺りを縄張りにしている狼がいるな。だが、この森を根城にする狼の群れはいない。
Really? I suppose there's a lot more that I still don't know about the area. The moment I finished speaking, I tripped over a root and felt myself losing balance.
危ない!
Dante wrapped his arms around my body to hold me up. He brought a hand down to my back to support me, while using his other hand to hold mine. I felt my heart beat quickly, seeing his azure eyes flickering so close to mine.
大丈夫か。もし足が痛むようなら言ってくれ。無理はしないでほしい。
Thank you. I'm fine.
そうか。間に合ってよかった。廃墟まではもう少しだ。行こう。
Dante removed his hand from my back, but his other hand was still holding my hand. My heart beat even faster than before. We finally arrived at the ruins said to house the sacred relic. This place. I think Sister Sophia told me about this place before. She mentioned that there's an old church over the hills outside of town.
そうだ。ここは代々ファルソーネが管理していて、定期的な補修も行っている。
I mean, they clearly haven't done a very good job though. They literally call it ruins now instead of a church. You would think they would take better care of Jesus' burial place. I didn't know that. I'd heard rumors that death lived here, but I wasn't scared with Dante around. He held my hand and slowly walked into the ruins. The inside wasn't as bad as it appeared from the outside, likely because of the upkeep Dante mentioned. Aside from a crumbling altar, there wasn't much else inside. Is the relic here? We both looked curiously around the area, in awe and amazement. Dante, have you been here before?
一度だけ。父からファルツォーネの使命について知らされた時に連れてきてもらった。とりあえず中を見て回るか。何かあるかもしれない。
Hi Terriarl, how are you? Good morning for you, I think? I'm replaying for the good ending, since we got the tragic and the best ending last time. Right. We both began looking around in search of anything interesting. I'm pretty sure this chapter is still the same, but I kind of want to recap anyway. That's a nice sight to wake up to. Yes, Dante is so pretty. I was admiring the CGs again a moment ago, and I still love that CG where he's like coming out of the shower with a towel on. That's a good one. We pored over the altar and the walls, checking every nook and cranny. We came up with nothing after thoroughly examining all the accessible areas. We touched and pushed things, but to no avail.
分かってはいたことだが、やはりそう都合よく話が進むわけもないか。
Dante frowned a bit and gave a sigh. I could tell he was slightly disappointed.
そもそもこの廃墟のどこに生物があるのか、それすら俺は知らされていない。地中深く埋められている可能性が高いが、床を見たところ、それらしき跡もないしな。
We must be missing something. Yeah. I tried to recall everything we talked about, searching for an idea. It's on your chest. The mark on your chest. Come to think of it.
長年、組織が見守ってきた場所とはいえ、あの廃墟に赴く人間などそういない。 鍵の乙女を伴って訪れたという記録もないし、行ってみるだけの価値はありそうだ。
Dante's words sparked a thought in my mind. Dante, you said that there was no record of the Key Maiden coming here, right? Is this record something that exists within your family?
ああ、ファルツォーネの執務室には代々の当主の記録などが残っている。もちろん誰にでも読めるものじゃない。当主のみが読むことを許可されているものだ。
Maybe there's some kind of clue in there about the relic?
可能性は低いな。ざっと目は通しているし、記録の全てが残っているわけじゃない。そもそもファルツォーネ発祥まで遡った時代の記録は現存していないしな。
I see.
生異物を守る中で、もし予測不可能な事態が発生したなら、
Is Emilio about to show up?
使徒と呼ばれる存在が現れてファルツォーネを助ける手はずだと父に聞いた。
Wait, when you say disciple, do you mean...
ああ、実際には使徒は鍵の乙女を奪う襲撃者として現れた。今でこそ教国からの指令がないからとおとなしくしているようだが、
We're about to romance that disciple soon.
命を受ければすぐに動き出すはずだ。ファルツォーネの協力者としては期待できないだろう。
There was no hint in sight. We couldn't hide our disappointment of having no real leads to work from, but then...
そうか。君は正しく継承していないんだね。
He is! And this scene hits a little different now that I know what the ritual is and what it is they're missing. Emilio basically just rocks up and is like, I see you're still virgins.
誰だ？
Dante reacted to the voice and moved in front of me with his gun out. As if answering Dante's question, a silhouette slowly emerged from the shadows. There he is, he's so pretty. His blonde hair wisped against his white clothes. He looked young, almost childlike.
子供？
Dante mumbled in bewilderment, but showed no signs of lowering his gun. The young boy's tone of voice and behavior implied someone of age and experience.
道理で動かないはずだ。ずっと不思議に思っていたんだよ。君はもう鍵を手にしているのにって。
Yeah, but he hasn't had the key, if you know what I'm saying. What?
使徒もうまく機能していないようだね。まったく、昔はもっと簡単だったのに。教国の規則も少しずつ変わっているけれど、そういうシステム化が進んだ弊害かな。
The young boy continued speaking calmly without paying any heed to Dante. May I ask who you are?
あ、そうだね。まずは挨拶から始めよう。はじめまして、ダンテ・ファルツォーネ。それから、今代の鍵の乙女、リリアーナ・アドルナート。
He knows who we are?
僕はエミリオ。教国の人間だ。といえば、話が早いかな。
Emilio. Dante frowned at the mention of the church and seemed more cautious than ever. The young boy didn't seem fazed, however, and spoke in the same tone as before.
僕は敵じゃない。と言っても、使徒の剣があるし、そう簡単には信じられないだろうね。
Do you play with a guide or did you jump to a certain chapter? I went to chapter 8 because I'm using the guide by Otome Kitten, and it said in there that if I wanted to get the good end after I've already got the best end, then I could go to chapter 8 and set the parameters to low, and then that would take me to the good ending or like the normal ending. So I'm trying that and we'll see. Hopefully that works.
まあそのまま楽にして聞くといいよ。僕は君たちに害を与えるつもりはないから。
He showed a smile as if we weren't a threat to him and continued.
教国は一枚岩というわけではない。内部では様々な思惑がうごめいているんだ。このブルローネについてもそう。
Ah, cool, I didn't know things. That's alright. Yeah, that's how I got the best ending after the tragic one as well, as I went back to chapter 7, I think, and then changed the parameters both to high. I think it saves playing from the beginning again and skipping all the way through.
教国はファルツォーネを見限ったと使徒に聞かされたが、俺たちと敵対しラオ州に手を貸したのも教国の総意ではないと言いたいのか。
I thought I would play through this chapter because I'm not sure when it branches off into the best ending, but I kind of forgot how long this chapter was.
その通り。信じられないかい？ラオ州の後ろ盾は教国全体ではなくてね。
Oops, I didn't mean to cut him off.
指導者、教国の主の憂慮はただ一つ。ファルツォーネが守り人としてこれからも機能していけるのかどうか。
Emilio gave a gentle smile and looked straight at Dante.
ダンテ・ファルツォーネ。
I love Emilio. I want more Emilio
こ
content.
こに来たからには聖物を手にしようという意志を持っているのだろう。大方、聖物と引き換えに教国の後ろ盾を取り戻そうという魂胆かな。
だとすれば
Dante's eyes were still narrowed, but Emilio responded with a calm maturity.
それは正しい。僕は君の判断を称賛する。ファルツォーネの後継者が聖物を手にして正当な権力者であることを証明すれば、教国はファルツォーネを認めざるを得ない。そうなれば聖火の憂慮も晴れるだろう。
Although I'm kind of glad I didn't skip this chapter because, like I said, this whole scene with Emilio just it feels very different now that I know what the ritual is.
僕としてもありがたいよ。無用な争いの火種は早く消えるに越したことがないから。
But we came here and found nothing that would lift the seal, or even the seal itself. What about Emilio do you find appealing? He's just so cute. And I don't know, like soothing? His voice is really soothing. I just want to know more about him, I think.
ファルツォーネの伝承は正しいのか。本当にこの廃墟に聖物が眠っていると。
Sorry, my phone just started ringing. I have no idea what that was.
廃墟なんて呼び方は不敬だね。聖堂か、せめて遺跡って呼んでほしいな。
Yes, he's soothing. Yeah, I think so. And like, maybe it's also the music though that's making it seem soothing. But he's just so pretty as well. Look at his eyes.
まあ、このあれ用じゃ無理もないけれど。
Emilio pouted a bit at the church's condition, then returned to the subject.
鍵の乙女は完全じゃない。今のままでは必要な役割を果たせない。
The key maiden isn't complete? That's an interesting way of wording it. I mean, I know he's referring to the mark, like the birthmark or whatever it is, but still feels a little bit weird. I hesitantly asked Emilio what I was missing. She's still a virgin, that's the problem. She hasn't slept with Dante yet. What am I missing then?
封印を解くために必要なのは第8の遺跡。
Wait, what was the eighth sacrament actually? Now that he says that. I kind of forgot that plot point. Huh? Aren't there only 7 sacraments?
うん、そうだね。
I'm sorry, I don't quite understand. Could you explain what this 8th one is? Is it just them coming together? Is that the 8th sacrament?
教えてあげたい気もするけれど、僕が口出しできるのはここまでだ。
Emilio gently smiled, then spoke clearly as if delivering a prophecy.
印が色づく頃、またここにおいで。
Or is it the mark that's the sacrament? I'm not sure.
君たちに神のご加護があらんことを。
They all have beautiful eyes. I love it when the author mentions Eli's eye colors. Yes, she keeps describing, or the author keeps describing Dante's eyes as like azure. So pretty. Yes, there are only 7 sacraments. Yeah, that's what I thought. But then Emilio said something about like the 8th sacrament. But then even in the best ending, I don't know if they brought up specifically another sacrament or if he's just referring to the ritual. And with that, he turned his back to us and walked away in silence. Or I could have just forgotten. His unusual presence and odd grace had us frozen for a moment. Wait! We snapped out of our trance and chased after him outside. The eighth is having sex. Ah, yes, the classic eighth sacrament. But he was nowhere to be found. Premarital sex. I know. It's so silly. I know this isn't possible, but it's as if he vanished into thin air. I still can't get over that that's the key to unlocking the relic. We thought on the words Emilio left for us as we walked through the forest back to Bologna.
あの子供。エミリオは第8の筆跡が必要だと言っていたな。
Receiving. Yes, I'm only familiar with the 7 sacraments they taught us in the church.
だが、第8の筆跡なんて初めて聞いた。
Not Dante. Neither have I. Was this the author, like, trying to subtly say that neither of them have had sex before? Say, how about we go to the church, Dante? Maybe there's something there we can refer to, or maybe Sister Sophia knows something.
なるほど。だが、日を改めよう。
Wouldn't sooner be better?
ここからアルカにたどり着くには、ファルチェを通らなければならない。知っての通り、今のファルチェは俺たちに対して不満を抱えている。もし俺と一緒にいるところを見つかって、お前に何かあったら。
He's worried about me. It'll be fine, Dante. It's getting dark. I doubt anyone would notice.
わかった。だがもし危険な気配があれば、その時はすぐに宿へ引き返す。
Understood. Thank you, Dante. On the one hand, I'm kind of excited to finish Dante's route and like clear the endings and things. But on the other hand, I'm getting kind of sad. Like I'm gonna miss it. Once the route's done, that's it. Oh no, it's not though, because Piofiore 1926 exists now in English. I'll just have to wait until I play that. Evening was upon us as we left the forest to head to Arca. Fortunately, we were able to get to the church without drawing attention. We went to the refectory and found Sister Sophia there, no different from a usual day.
ああ、リリー、久しぶりですね。少し痩せたのではないですか？
Sister Sophia, I'm so glad to see you. Even Sister Sophia's eyes are beautiful. I extended my arms out and ran toward her. We both embraced each other tightly. There too so much more content to look forward to. I know, I'm actually kind of glad that I put off playing it for so long because now I don't have to wait for the fan disc.
シニョーレ・ファルツォーネもご無事で何よりです。ここのところ、町の人々からファルツォーネに対する非難がひどくて、あんな嘘を並べて騒ぎ立てるなんて信じられません。
シスター、あなたの心遣いに感謝する。
I felt like continuing this topic would only hurt Dante, so I changed the subject. Sister Sophia? The music is so pretty. We actually came because we wanted to ask you something.
シスター、みんなで何か相談してるの？それともお客さんが来てるの？
I'm just imagining that if everything went normal, Olok would have had to have the talk with Dante too. I hadn't thought about that. You're so right, because Emilio said that Olok was meant to talk to Dante and like teach him all this stuff. So you're right. Olok would have had to have sat down with him at some point and been like, okay, so if you want to unlock the relic, here's how you do it. Just imagine, that would be the most awkward conversation because both of them are so like, not shy, but like, they don't speak a lot. And they both get flustered and awkward easily. I heard the pitter-patter of footsteps, and as the door opened, a burst of sound came forth. There stood the children I lived with at the church, both with surprised looks on their little faces.
うわ、お姉ちゃんだ。
お姉ちゃん、今までどこ行ってたの？ずっといなくて心配だったんだから。
Ah, I'm sorry. So much happened, and I forgot to let you all know. I felt a sharp pain in my heart from seeing how worried the kids were for me.
じゃん、ラウラ。今私たちは大事な話をしているところです。後にしましょうね。
Sister Sophia gently asked the kids to let us have some privacy.
せっかくお姉ちゃんに会えたのに、私たちはお話もできないなんて。
The kids were beginning to pout. Sister Sophia looked at us.
あなたの部屋で待っていてください。さあ、子供たち、もうとっくに眠る時間です。部屋に戻りましょう。
Sophia left the refectory, taking the sullen kids with her. Then Dante...
あ、お前の部屋に案内してくれ。
I'm sorry the place is so plain. See, when this happened last time, I was like, are they not embarrassed to be in her bedroom alone together? Or, you know, like horny or whatever. But they didn't react to it at all. I rarely have guests in here, so... My room must look like a closet compared to the Falzone manor.
いや、綺麗に整頓された部屋だと思う。お前は、ここでずっと暮らしてきたんだな。
They went for the wholesome option, where he's just excited to get to know her better. I watched Dante looking around the room with a spark of interest in his eyes. I didn't expect him to be so interested. Noticing that I was looking at him, he turned his attention back to me.
なんだ、俺に言いたいことがあるなら遠慮しなくていい。
Oh, no, it's nothing. It's just that it feels a bit strange seeing you in my room.
そう言われてみれば、俺も不思議な気分だ。
I wasn't sure what he found interesting about my room, but he was making me nervous. There's nothing special here. They're too focused on other things like unlocking the 8th sacrament. True.
いや、そんなことはない。うまく言えないが、なんとなく落ち着くというか。
Oh, I'll get it. I opened the door and let Sophia inside. She greeted us again with a nod of her head.
お待たせしてしまいましたね。ごめんなさい。改めてあなたたちの話を伺いましょう。
Thank you. So we came to ask... I explained what I could, then asked her about the 8th sacrament. Sister Sophia clearly never had to talk with Lily.
ごめんなさい。私も第8の秘跡なんて聞いたことがありません。
It's because she's a nun, isn't it? I see. Sister Sophia shook her head, and I felt I may have been a bit too optimistic.
シスター、遅くに悪いが、この教会の書庫を見せてもらっても構わないだろうか。
8th sacrament is forever going to be a euphemism for me now.
ええ、もちろん。手に取れるものはどれでも、どうぞご自由にご覧になってください。
Having received approval from Sister Sophia, Dante looked at me seriously.
ここなら、秘跡に関する本があるはずだ。手分けして一つずつ調べるしかないな。
Sure thing. We brought back as many books as possible from the library, hoping at least one made mention of the sacrament. We each went through the stacks of books, searching for information and clues. We scanned each book page by page. We kept at it book after book. With how tired we both were, we soon fell asleep. Night passed with us in my room, unable to wake up to continue our search.
おはようございますって、お姉ちゃんたち、まだ寝てるの？
I kind of want to skip because I want to see the ending, but I also don't want to rush it. Huh? Jean's voice woke me up, and I gasped at seeing the sun already high in the sky.
すっかり眠ってしまっていたな。もう朝か。
うん。ご飯の準備もできてるから、食堂に来てってシスターソフィアが。
We'll be right there. Dante and I got ourselves ready and hurried downstairs to the refectory. We somehow made it down to the dining hall without looking too shabby. Then all of a sudden... Elena! A familiar voice called my name and she lunged forward to take me in her arms. Aww. Elena? I hugged her back and we both looked at one another.
私、とっても心配したのよ。あなたったら前に教会に来てくれたきり、ずっと連絡もなしで。
ソフィアは心配しなくても大丈夫だって言っていたけど、でも
I'm sorry, Elena. Please, forgive me. I consoled her by rubbing her back and tried to calm her down.
そうね。私もいきなりごめんなさい。私ったらつい。
Elena let me go and apologized. It was then she noticed Dante standing next to me.
あら、そちらは？
Just as she was about to greet Dante, she stopped, then began to stutter.
まさか、もしかしてそのシニョーレ・ファルツォーネ？
はじめまして、シニョリーナ。その予想通り、俺はダンテ・ファルツォーネで間違いない。
Dante bowed his head like a gentleman, showing respect to Elena.
私ったらファルツォーネのカップの前で騒いじゃってはしたない。
It was obvious that Elena was flustered. I giggled, seeing her blush in confusion. That's alright. Calm down, Elena.
お話の続きは食事の後にしてはいかがです？
I mean, he's a heck of a boyfriend to suddenly bring home. Not just like some random guy.
スープにビスコッティだなんてシニョーレの口に合うかはわからないけど。
It's been a while since I've had your minestra, but it's as wonderful as usual, Elena. I taste a hint of bay leaf.
ねえねえお姉ちゃんたち、今日は遊んでくれる？朝ごはんが終わったら外で遊ばない？
ダメよ。お姉ちゃんには本を読んでもらうの。ジャンもそう言ってたでしょ？
ああ、そういえばお姉ちゃんの説明がそろそろ恋しいなって話したっけ？
Thank you both, but let's be a bit quieter while we're eating, okay? And I'm sorry, but I can't do it today. Could you remember to remind me next time?
久しぶりにお姉ちゃんが帰ってきたと思ったのに。
I want to know who voiced John. They're great.
じゃん、あまりわがままを言ってはいけませんよ。いい子で待っていましょうね。
Sister Sophia kindly spoke to Jean, and he reluctantly nodded in agreement.
うん。
さあ皆さん、食事中は静かにしましょうね。
With Sister Sophia's words, everyone in the refectory went back to eating their meals. I whispered to Dante sitting next to me so that no one could hear. I'm sorry for all the commotion, Dante.
いや、こんな食事は新鮮だ。これはこれで楽しいと思うし、お前のルーツを見た気がする。
Dante looked about the area with a smile, then continued to eat. After breakfast, we went back to my room to resume checking the books for clues.
二人とも大丈夫？それらしい本を少し探してみたから置いていくわね。
Thank you, Elena. That would be great. Along with additional books, Elena helped out by bringing us cups of coffee while we continued our search. We sipped our warm coffee and sat, flipping through book after book after book. Unfortunately, we couldn't find anything particularly helpful.
そろそろ夜になるな。あまり長く滞在してこの辺りの噂になってもまずい。まだ書庫の本すべてを調べきれてはいないが、一度宿に戻った方がいいだろう。
True, it would be bad if something happened now. Let me clean the place up first before we go. We returned the books we got to the library, then made our way back to the hotel. Although we didn't find anything, just being back at the church made me feel a lot better. Perhaps seeing that I was feeling better than before, Dante offered an idea.
そう頻繁には難しいが、また調べに行こう。それまで関係しそうな本を届けてもらえばいい。
Dante. Huh? Oh, I forgot about this part!
今の声は、まさか。
We were going through the alleys to avoid being seen when all of a sudden we heard a loud yell. I forgot about this scene! With Lan. We ran toward the street and peeked around the corner to see what had happened. A number of the Falzone family members were lying on the ground. Two were standing against a silhouette holding a long weapon. Oh, hell yeah. A small young girl stood there with the weapon in hand. It was clear that she was with the Lao Shu.
お前たち相手じゃ全然つまんないよ。
あれは
Dante, you know her?
ヤンの配下だ。 確かランと呼ばれていた。
She looks familiar. The young girl, Lan, shouted in a frustrated voice.
ほら、さっさとダンテ・ファルツォーネを呼べって言ってるの。早く早く。
誰がうちのカポを。
話通じないみたいね。じゃあ、あなたはもういらないよね。
She brandished her spear-like weapon and began spinning it over her head.
死んじゃってよ。
She swept her weapon, bringing the man down. Now there was only one standing.
お前は伝言役ね。最後にもう一回だけ言うよ。ダンテ・ファルツォーネをここに呼んできて。
Her voice actor is also great. Something isn't right about her. Her eyes kept twitching, and an eerie grin was plastered across her red face. Something was definitely wrong with her. Almost as if she's drunk.
ファルツォーネが来るまで私はそうね。
Not drunk. Hi.
ファルツェの住民に遊んでもらうよ。どれくらい減った頃に着くか楽しみね。
She then looked at the people who were watching the commotion from afar. They slowly began to back away, but
逃げてもいいよ。追いかけっこするだけね。どのくらい頑張れるかワクワクするよ。
she suddenly sprinted toward the citizens and swung her weapon around erratically. No! It's okay, Dante will stop her. Dante scoped the area quickly to see if there were any other members of the Lao Shu around.
お前はここに隠れていろ。姿を晒す必要はない。俺が相手をしてくる。
Dante. I was worried about Dante, but if I held him back now, the people of Fauce could die. Please, be careful. I prayed for Dante's safety. He looked at me and nodded, then headed out to the street.
ファルチェの人間には手を出すな。俺が相手になってやる。このダンテ・ファルツォーネがな。
ふーん。別にいいよ。それ。私の目的はファルツェじゃなくてお前を殺すことだからね。
I loved this particular track in the soundtrack.
ファルツォーネ死ね。
Like the fight music.
死ぬのはお前だ。ラオ州の乱。
Dante drew his gun as Lan laughed madly, then she charged at him. The fear of losing Dante. I had to keep myself from screaming as I watched on. But then I heard footsteps behind me and turned around. Huh? Wait, no, this is different. This must be the different ending. Who are you?
おとなしくしろ。
This isn't how it went last time. A man snuck up from behind, attempting to capture me. He'd hidden from us, using Lan as a distraction.
リリー、伏せろ。
Oh wait, did this happen? I can't remember. I didn't think it did. Dante's bullet pierced the Lao Shu's head as, oh my god, as he fell backward onto the ground. His blood and brains splattered across the ground, and I mustered the strength to look up at Dante.
隙ありったよ。女を気にするなんてずいぶん余裕みたいね。
Dante twisted his body to dodge Lan's blow. Dante kicked Lan away to create distance. His powerful kick sent the young girl flying back, but she fell onto one of the bystanders who hadn't made his escape. Oh no. Yeah, I don't think this is how it went last time. Lan's weapon mercilessly plunged through the young man's body. Oh, Dante's gonna feel real bad about that.
もう邪魔しないでよ。
Lan angrily kicked the man, then pulled her weapon from his body. The young man lay on the ground, with blood seeping out of his body. Lan jumped to the side to avoid the bullet. She then let out an irritated laugh.
いきなり撃ってくるなんて さすがファルツォーネ。卑怯者ね。
なんとでも言え。
次は私の番。これで終わりにするよ。
She closed in and swung her blade toward his neck.
終わるのはお前の方だ。
Dante braced himself at her charge. Why is he standing still? He stood his ground, staring at Lan. Then he pulled the trigger, just as her blade was about to connect. Maybe she wasn't expecting it. The bullet struck Lan at close range and blew her back from the impact. The incoming blade flew away from Dante. Aww. And just like that, her body was still. Aww. I mean, I know she was going around murdering people, but that was sad. At the sight of her dead body, I came to my senses and ran to the injured young man. I can't stop his bleeding. Dante and I tried our best to save him, but it was all over. With what just happened, we rushed back to the hotel without saying a single word. Dante. I could tell Dante was putting up a front. He couldn't hide his disappointment.
お前が無事でよかった。
It's great that the writing makes you like even the bad guys and girls. Yeah, I know. Like, you can feel sorry for them, but still root for Dante as well. Like, even with the fight with Jan in the best end, even though I like Jan a lot, I still was rooting for Dante because, I mean, Jan was going to just basically destroy everyone and destroy everything if he wasn't stopped. So, yeah, it's good that it's cool that they can make them sympathetic, but also stay a villain. Dante was vexed over the fact that his decision cost the life of a civilian. He wouldn't express his sorrow, but he would probably continue to live on in repentance. There was nothing I could say to console him, and the night quietly shrouded us. Chapter 9. So this is now definitely the good ending, rather than the best ending or the bad ending. The day after we came back from the church, Leo came to deliver us a stack of books.
俺はよくわからなかったんで、シスターたちに聞いて、筆跡とか教国の教えに関係するような本をとにかくたくさん集めてもらいました。
This is great, thank you, Leo. As Dante said, it was best that we avoid spending too much time at the church. We were able to continue our search now with Leo's help.
シスターソフィアがくれぐれも無理はしないように伝えてくれって。自分の方でも少し調べてみるからって言ってました。それからこれ、ジュリアからの差し入れで、中はパニーニだそうです。
Oh, thank you so much. While the hotel's room service was top notch, Julia's cooking was what I really wanted. Leo's so
ご苦労だっ
sweet.
た、レオ。
また何かあればいつでも言ってください。新しい本が必要になったらすぐ用意します。
Leo gave a bright smile, then quickly left the hotel to tend to his other duties. I only just turned the aircon off, but I'm just going to quickly turn it on again. This room is like heating up so fast. There was a thunderstorm earlier, but it's already gotten warm again. Oh, that's better. I shifted through the stack of old tomes with Dante. I hope there's something in here that we can use.
これは美味しいパスタのコツ？筆跡には関係ないな。
I don't know, really good pasta does feel like a miracle. I wouldn't be surprised if some other books got slipped in inadvertently. Oh look, this one is Pinocchio. I haven't read this in ages. You brought me a copy back at the manor, remember?
そんなこともあったな。
Oh, liar. He so remembers. Dante blushed, looking down and away from me as he tossed the cookbook onto the floor.
あの時はお前の好きなものなんて全然わからなかったから。とにかくいろいろなジャンルを揃えようと手当たり次第に集めさせたんだ。本だけじゃない。 他にも何を送ればいいかちっともわからなかった。
Dante looked up, smiling shyly.
教会で生活するお前をファルツォーネはずっと見守ってきたが、お前が好きなものもどうすれば喜ぶのかも俺は全然知らなかったんだ。
Aw. But he wants to know. Hearing Dante speak honestly with me like this filled me with such emotion. It's not what you gave me, it's the thought that counted, Dante. It made me feel better to see you care for me, especially with the way things were back then. Of course, there are things I'm worried about now, but I think things are different from before. Wasn't Pinocchio one of his favorite books? Yeah, I think so. I think there was that scene, was it a breakfast or a dinner that they were all having together in the salon? And that's how we found out that Dante was the one who chose the books and not Leo. Dante looked straight at me. I couldn't take my eyes off of him. Aww.
俺もきっと同じ気持ちだ。お前がそばにいてくれる。だから不安でも前を向いていられるんだ。
Dante. Being able to hear his thoughts like this made me so happy. It showed me how much trust we placed in each other, how much we believed in each other.
リリー。
The warmth of his hands on mine filled my heart. Ooh, meanwhile story. Ooh, we got two. Lie. This is a sweet moment. What is Lie gonna be about? Oh, how are we gonna resolve the whole Nicola Gill thing? I let out a sigh, reading the morning paper that was delivered to the Visconti.
ひどいな。
I frowned. There were articles written containing allegations against the Falzone over a number of incidents.
賭博に窃盗、詐欺に強姦だって。どれも誇りに反するものばかりだ。
That's pretty intense.
ファルツォーネが、ダンテがこんな真似をするはずはない。
Oh, Nicola's so mad about it. I love their... I was gonna say friendship, but they're basically brothers. I threw the newspaper onto the table with frustration. Lies. Look up. Tooth comb. Oh, Lao Shu. Oh no, now both of his underlings are dead. I squinted as I swirled the Shaoxing wine in my glass.
フェイに続き、ランもいなくなったか。櫛の歯が欠けるように、ラオ州の駒が減る。こうして追い詰められるのも悪くはない。たやすい戦いなど、その意味を持たん。
That's his take on what just happened. At least it's not too easy for me. I looked at my empty glass and sighed.
いればうるさいが、いなければいないで、無良に過ぎるな。
Aww. That was kind of sweet. That was his way of saying he misses them. Although he would eventually let go. Ah, Yang, I know. He has a unique personality. I wanted to appreciate the sight of him in front of me now. The time we spent together was invaluable to me. A few days passed as we searched through the church's books for clues. And still, we hadn't found anything of use.
ファルツォーネがこんな真似をするはずがないだろう。
Oh, I don't think I've seen Dante this angry yet. Dante threw the newspaper Leo brought down on the table in anger. I couldn't find the right words to console him. The newspaper was continuing to write derogatory articles about the Falzone. The family was being falsely accused of a multitude of crimes in the region. Who's
いつ
doing
も
it?
優しかった商店のおばちゃんも俺を見ると嫌な顔するんですよね。目の前でクローズの札を出されたりして買い物もろくにできなくて。
How could you be mean to Leo? Leo had been bringing us newspapers and goods since the beginning, but I'd never seen him this sad before. Ouch. Who did this? I need to know. I need to protect Leo.
湿っぽくなっちゃいましたよね。すみません。
Who
でも
hurt him?
その
どうした？まだ何かあるのか？
ニコラさん、ニコラが何か企んでるかもしれません。
Nicola?
裏切りのことを知らない構成員に声をかけてねぎらったりしてるみたいです。
Nicola, what are you doing?
多分会話からファルツォーネの内情を探ろうとしてるんじゃないかと。あの人は重要な存在でした。裏切りを公にすれば ファミリーには大きな動揺が走ると思います。だからカポは内部にも伏せてるんですよね。だけどいつまでもそういうわけには。
わかった。対策を講じる。
よろしくお願いします。じゃあ俺はこれで失礼しますね。
Leo bowed his head a bit reluctantly before leaving the room. Dante, he hasn't told everyone about Nicola's betrayal. Dante, how about a cup of coffee? I could go for a cup of coffee right now.
ああ、頼む。
Dante wasn't speaking much. It seemed like he was in pain. I mean, he's got a lot on his plate right now. He's got all the rumors, he's got Nicola's betrayal, his family's kind of falling apart, he's trying to figure out what to do about Jan. He's trying to figure out how to break the seal of the relic. Of course he was in pain. Why wouldn't he be? Once Dante announced Nicola's betrayal, Nicola would never be able to set foot in the Falzone manor again. Nicola would lose the place he called home. Dante must still believe in him. He wants to believe in him. Even if he did have to remove Nicola from the family, given their relationship, the decision couldn't possibly be made lightly. I'd better not say too much about it. After serving Dante some coffee, I began combing through the new pile of books Leo brought. Just as the sun was about to set, Dante suddenly spoke my name. What is it, Dante? Did you find something? So it's the difference between the good ending and the bad ending that Dante is in too bad a mood after accidentally killing a civilian. And so they end up just reading books more instead of having sex.
レオが持ってきた本の中にファルツォーネの屋敷にもある本が紛れていた。
You mean like the Pinocchio storybook?
ああ、同じ本が教会と屋敷のそれぞれに存在すること自体は特に問題じゃない。だが、俺がファルツォーネで目を通したものと本の内容が違っているようなんだ。
Different? What do you mean?
大半は同じだ。だが、見覚えのない文章が散見された。
You remember everything you've read? That's pretty amazing, Dante. Dante looked down at the book and replied somewhat reluctantly.
これは特別だ。この本はブルローネの郷土史をまとめたものであり。
Well, and seeing as Orlok and his dad didn't get to tell him about this stuff, he's basically only had that book to study.
編纂者の名前はアルベルト・ファルツォーネ。ファルツォーネの5代前の当主が残した本だ。俺は幼い頃から父の言いつけで何度となくこの本に目を通してきた。完璧にそらんじられるほどというわけじゃないが、大体の内容は覚えている。
Dante handed me the book, and I began flipping through its pages. I don't think I've ever read this before.
おそらく一般的に流通しているものじゃない。
Now that he mentioned it, the dimensions of the book seem different from normal books you'd find in shops.
教会とファルツォーネは古くからつながりがある。だから教会に現存しているのは理解できるが、その中身が違うというのは。
What's different about it?
さっきも言ったように大体は同じだ。だが最後の章の内容が少し違う気がする。
The last chapter.
ああ、最終章はこの地にまつわる信託について述べられている。しかし書かれている内容は当たり障りのないものでしかない。特に重要な情報が記されているわけじゃないし、秘密が隠されているわけでもなさそうだ。
Many who lived in Bologna were at least aware of the oracle.
しかし双方の本はその記述が異なっている。
I kind of like that each of the different endings has its own bit of lore. Because we didn't learn any of this in the best ending. You mean the way it's worded is different? Dante nodded in response.
少なくとも俺の記憶とはかなり読み口が違う。こちらはより難解というか、文章が読みにくい。
Maybe the one you had was rewritten to be easier to understand?
そうかもしれない。だがそれならなぜ後になって書き直したのか。
His thinking face is so pretty. I could just stare at his CG for hours. And at his character sprite, sorry. Could we compare the book you read before with this one? Oh, a meanwhile story. Oops. Messenger. Orlok.
やあ、ボナセーラ。
I said I wanted more Emilio content. The game knew.
気づかなかった。いつからそこに俺が声をかけられるまで気づかないなんて。この人は一体。
Oh, Orlok doesn't know him.
この服装、もしかして峡谷の。
はじめまして、オルロック。僕はエミリオ。ヨゼフからよく君の話を聞いていたよ。君に教えなければならないことがある。もっとも、信じる信じないは君の自由だ。僕はどちらでも構わない。
なんだろう、この雰囲気は。
There's you, Mr. I can dodge bullets. His presence was unlike anything I'd ever encountered before. He had an aura so divine that, before even realizing it, I was kneeling in front of him. Whoa. Wait, no, don't end. I want to see the rest of that conversation. Maybe it might reveal something that we're looking for.
そうだな。一度屋敷に戻ってみよう。今はどんなに小さいことでも追求すべきだ。
We decided to end our search for the day and rest in preparation for tomorrow. The following day, we returned to the manor to look for the book we discussed.
ほら、待てってば。
Carlo! Carlo playfully jumped headfirst into the folds of my skirt. I carefully picked him up into my arms. Carlo's so cute. I want a cat.
すみません。洗ってやろうとしてたら逃げ出して。で、お帰りなさい。
I don't think I've ever tried to give a cat a bath.
今日はどうしたんですか？
用を済ませたらまたすぐ宿に帰る。お前は自分の仕事に戻っていい。
Your cat washing duties.
じゃあ、失礼して。
Leo extended his hands to me, beckoning Carlo into them. Thank you for taking care of him, Leo.
ほら、暴れるなよ。大丈夫だって。入っちまえば気持ちいいから。
Aww. I like that the footstep sounds then sounded like he was running. Like he just got too much energy to walk normally down the corridor. Who dis? Others. Julia.
一体どうして何を考えて。
Is Julia okay? I won't be happy if anything bad happens to Julia. I continued on my way, confused at what was happening. Oh, look! Huh? Suddenly, a young man turned the corner and knocked the groceries out of my arms.
あ、ごめんなさい。立てる？
あなたこそ大丈夫ですか？
大丈夫。
The young man picked up the fallen bags. Among them was a white envelope.
グラッツェ、シニョーレ。
I hurriedly took the envelope and groceries and hurried back to the manor. Wait, what? What was the envelope about? Heh. I smiled, seeing Leo running back to finish giving Carlo a bath. He really did run down the corridor. Dante and I looked at each other and nodded before heading to his office. We were in Dante's office, where he unlocked a drawer to reveal an old book. Ooh. It looks the same. Even the cover is the same. Is it? Piofiore Locale. And then Alberto Falzone. We quickly turned to the last chapter. The content didn't seem much different, but the wording certainly was. It's just as you said, but why on earth would they be different? Dante was thinking in silence. I tried to look for clues in the differences. Dante? Why isn't this book a part of the library here? The fact that it was locked away seems strange to me.
なぜ？理由は考えたこともなかったな。先代の時から本はここに保管されていた。俺が読む時も常に父の手でここから渡されていたし。 入れ。
Julia! The door opened slowly, and in the doorway appeared Julia. For some reason, her complexion was pale.
どうした？何かあったのか？
坊ちゃん